Hey guys, it's Lefty back again and in 1080p and so beautiful with my own custom color correction. I actually feel like an artist, and it's actually going to take this video probably 45 minutes to an hour to render because I do the color correction a certain way, I guess. I don't know. I need a more powerful PC. Like and favorite for more powerful PCs that can... I need a 4K camera and a PC that can render 4K like that. Okay, so let's make it happen. You know what? That'd be a great sponsorship. Intel's like, hey, 4K. Just kidding. Intel? Yeah. But I saw something. This is actually interesting. It could be a video unto itself about the genesis of an idea for a video. Wait, that's kind of video ideaception. But I was clicking around on the internet. I found something funny on the gaming subreddit when SimCity announced that they were going to an offline mode and it was going to be released via a patch. There was a gaming journalist who last year, during the fallout of the SimCity launch, the debacle of the always online thing, people couldn't connect, people couldn't pay their fully priced game that they paid money for, they couldn't play it, and this asshole was just tweeting out just the worst apologizing of any kind. It's really bad. Apologizing from PR reps is fine for a company's misdeeds or whatever, but apologizing from a journalist, and it's really funny to see just like gaming blogger be like, I'm a journalist, but then I'm going to apologize for Pokemon and Nintendo releasing the same exact game over and over and over and over again, but then I'm going to make fun of Madden for doing the same thing. It's like, okay, well, you're just an apologizing douchebag. You're not a real journalist. You're not impartial. You don't have an ethical code that you attempt to abide by. But anyway, this asshole was just apologizing for EA Maxis last year, and he tweeted out, I'll get to what the video is actually about in a second, but I just found this story interesting. And he tweeted about, he was a writer for Polygon, and he tweeted very specifically, if you think this problem can be, or if you think EA/Maxis can fix this problem with a simple patch, and this is the money quote, you literally have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so just apologizing for EA Maxis and you know, everybody went on about their business like, oh, you're an apologizing douchebag. He's like, I'm a journalist. I can be entitled to my opinion, right? More opinion bullshit. But then a lot of people started retweeting that and giving him crap last week, or when they found out that EA was going to, or Maxis was going to release a patch that fixes the always online component, that creates an offline component. So it was really interesting just to see that kind of comeuppance. I believe it's called Schadenfreude, or Schadenfreuden, or whatever, the just, you know, enjoying the displeasure of others, or you know, the people going through hard times. So it was just funny to see that guy get his comeuppance a year later for just apologizing, knob schlobbing. We all do it from time to time, but sometimes comeuppance is fun to watch. But anyway, so this guy, you know, gave him shit for that, but then I just started looking through his tweets, and he started tweeting about the Battlefield 4 problem. He was tweeting previously about it. He tweeted out a video, and I started watching it because I hadn't played Battlefield 4. It's like, oh man, I really want to play Battlefield 4, but there were issues, as I recall, that kind of led to me not wanting to play the game anymore. In fact, one of the moderators in my stream, Ghosty Yami, said he is not going to play Battlefield 4 anymore until they fix their netcode. Now, I don't have my finger on the pulse, as it were, so I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess they haven't. And I started doing some more and more research about the launch of Battlefield 4, another EA title, and this one released by DICE, or excuse me, developed by DICE, released by EA. I scratch that, reverse it. And it looks as though, from everything I've read, it has gotten to the point where EA has said, we are not going to allow DICE to work on expansions or DLC, which I get a little of the jerk-off sense there going there. My spidey senses are tingling about that. That just seems like good PR. But they have said publicly that they are not, kind of throwing DICE under the bus, said DICE is not going to be working on expansions until they fix Battlefield 4 issues, plagued by tons of issues. Error, glitches, bugs, random crashes on PC, bad netcode. There are tons of videos everywhere showcasing how bad the netcoding is from Battlefield 4. You guys might recall, if you're in the Call of Duty space, Black Ops was the original. Everybody making videos, everybody and their mother. I eventually made one, but I had to take it down because it had copyrighted music. But everybody and their mother making videos about the lag compensation in the original Call of Duty Black Ops, and it's just gone on from there. So imagine the worst kind of lag compensation you can. There are an I can't even tell you how many. I was going to say infinite, but that's but there are a lot of videos out there that showcase bad netcode on the part of Battlefield 4. So the game has been plagued by issue after issue after issue. In fact, I said this in a live commentary that I recorded recently. I was driven to stop playing the game when a patch that was meant to fix one bug released a whole slew of other bugs. There was I call it the bad shellfish queasing, the random graphical blurring that would happen when something would happen, I believe, on the other team, the enemy team's commander side. And the game was just, it looked bad to me. It actually made me kind of physically ill once or twice. I was like, I don't want to play this game. I feel a little bit of dizzy and nauseous. And so the game's been issue after issue after issue has befallen this title ever since release. And here's the problem here's what a lot of people are saying, that is unacceptable from EA and DICE. There are actually 3 class action lawsuits pending against EA as a direct result of the launch of Battlefield 4. So I've been away from the game for a minute, as we say in the business, and I'm honestly not in a position to say that I have been wronged by Battlefield 4 because I haven't played it in a long time. And I'm wondering, a lot of you are out there probably play Battlefield 4 a lot more than me. And a lot of you are probably very interested in the game and you want it to be good. It's just not. And you're very upset about that. And I'm here to give you a good idea, a good gauge, even though I haven't played the game in a while and I really haven't been on the receiving end of all of these issues, most of them, but not all of them. Here's a good way to know just how upset you should be at EA and DICE. Okay, you know you should be upset, but you know there's different levels of upset, right? Let's be practical here. There's the crap, forgot to lock the front door upset, and then there's oh crap, you set the house on fire because you forgot to turn off the oven upset, right? So here's a good way, a good gauge to if you're a longtime Battlefield 4 player, if you want to determine if and just how unacceptable this release by EA and DICE of Battlefield 4 has been. Okay? It's really simple too. You can apply it to many other facets of your life because I believe that a lot of people have just an intuitive sense of logic. It might even be basic and rudimentary at its core, but there is it's like a BIOS on a motherboard, right? The BIOS isn't the operating system. It's just a very basic, this goes here, that goes here, and this works this way thing that is intrinsic to the motherboard itself. And I believe that kind of thing exists for logic in people. So even if you're not like, I haven't taken philosophy, etc., whatever, you don't think yourself a learned person, it's very simple. A lot of people, your gut reactions to a lot of things tend to be in the ballpark a lot of the times, right? But here, it's very simple. Think about it this way. Is it reasonable to assume that EA and DICE known or did know or should have known that their release of Battlefield 4, they would be taking money for a product that would not work as people were expecting it to work? Is it reasonable to assume that DICE and EA knew, or at least should have known, that they were releasing a game that would be at times unplayable for a statistically significant portion of their player base? And that's it. Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable that they knew or should have known? I say yes. And I'll be honest, yeah, EA has sponsored a few of my Battlefield 4 videos. A few of them have been brought to you by EA. It's part of they have something going on with YouTubers. But that doesn't mean that they are immune from criticism, especially from me, because I believe it is reasonable that they knew. It is reasonable to assume that they knew or should have known that this title was bug-filled and would be rendered unplayable for a lot of people. Not everybody, not even most of the player base, but a statistically significant portion of the people would not be able to play it or use it as they thought as it was intended. And that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Another unacceptable move from EA, and certainly an unacceptable move from DICE, because they're the developer. It's their baby. EA may have given them a date and said, hit this and let's go. So EA is culpable in that sense, but DICE is still the people that are or are the people that are working on the game that this is their baby, this is their code, and these are the things that and these are their fixes, their attempted fixes to the game that sometimes even make it worse. So yes, it is reasonable, to me at least, that EA knew or should have known, and DICE knew or should have known, that the game was as bug and glitch filled as it has been. And that's completely and wholly unacceptable to me. Now, what do you think? Again, you don't have to think what I think. Just ask yourself that question. Just, and ask yourself that question, and your immediate response is probably going to be how you actually feel. And you can answer either way. Is it reasonable to assume that EA and DICE knew or should have known that the game was as bug and glitch filled as it was? And there you have your answer. If they should have known, if that is a reasonable assumption, well, then they are certainly culpable, and that's not acceptable to release a fully priced retail product to the consuming public, knowing that a significant portion of them would not be able, of your paying customers would not be able to use the product as intended. That is wholly unacceptable. And if it's not reasonable, well, then okay, then here we are, and happy Battlefield 4ing to you. But a lot of you are probably Battlefield 4 fans. I am a Battlefield 4 fan, and I want the game to be good. And just like there are SimCity fans who wanted the game to be good, and they really are a fan of Maxis, and people really are fans of DICE. I'm a fan of DICE. I'm a fan of the SimCity franchise. I want these games to be good, but that doesn't mean that I should suspend all rational thought and criticism of practices that are just not okay. And this is one of them, releasing a broken game where it is wholly reasonable to assume that they should have known that this was going to happen. So ask yourself of that. Ask other people. Get other people to think that way, and then maybe we'll have a better understanding of how people feel, what they feel, instead of just people thinking, I should be arbitrarily angry about this, so I'm gonna be, damn it. But anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. If you stuck with me this long throughout the entire video, I appreciate it. There's rambling. It's been all over the place, but I think we've arrived at a place, and maybe you apply it other places too. Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable? That's so much. It will get you so far if you are just able to stop and think, is this reasonable? Is that reasonable? Is it reasonable to assume this or that? That will give you so much perspective on so many things. But anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. Again, likes and favorites are appreciated, and subscriptions are appreciated. We're on the march to 100K. We are firmly marching. We are marching down the road to 100K. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Plenty of vlogs, gaming content, all kinds of games coming your way. So hit the subscribe button. I guarantee you will enjoy, and you will not regret your decision, although that has not been evaluated by the FDA, the FCC, the CIA, the DEA, or anything like that. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.